Welcome to Sunday session for July 24th, 2022. Last week we had an amazing week. And mostly everything performed pretty good. If you look at the 1 week chart on FinViz, you notice everything looking pretty nice. Disney, talked about a month ago. I told you majority of stuff we went over literally a month ago. Being prepared is always awesome, but being ahead of everything else, getting things at the best prices is going to always give you the best situations to make money. So congrats to everybody that took advantage of that. But this is the week that we've been waiting on. I told you look out for the run up before this week. We had that week last week. So this week right here, I'm expecting some slowdown, some consolidations, you feel what I'm saying? And then decision making. Like I always say when I come in here, if you missed out on your trades, do not come in here and force nothing coming to the next week. Let the market play itself out. I'm gonna show you guys on the chart what I mean. But the earnings, this is the earnings calendar. Everything is in pink, has earnings this week. Oil, gas, tech, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Facebook, even in the healthcare sector, MRK, ABBV, MasterCard, Visa. I mean, everything got earnings coming up this week. This is a huge week. CVS is in there, Coca-Cola. So this week is going to be the patient week. Boeing on the 27th. That's the biggest sleeper. I told you guys about Boeing almost a month ago. Get the 160s. It hit 160 already. It's at 158. I mean, these are some great companies that was on huge discounts just a month ago. Boeing was down to 117 and is at 160. I don't know how or I don't know who, but that was an amazing trade coming from there to there. I mean, it's just been have a lot of good trades talked about a long time ago, and now you're starting to see them pay off. So congratulations on that for sure. But again, we're gonna always start off with SPY. See how SPY look. Last week I told you guys, SPY is starting a nice little trend on the 4-hour chart. But here go my setup for SPY. Here go the 4-hour trend line. And this is why I was not nervous when it came down to that on the 18th. When everything dropped on the 18th, I was not afraid. You feel me? I was not nervous. The trend line is still intact. Then we had a nice little run up to the high, about 398, almost 400. Now we're sitting on the trend line now. I'm expecting a retest towards that 398. Let me break it down to the 15-minute chart. You'll notice that the support level is 392.29 or 392.60 right here. If it do come down, watch out for these moving average. Now, the thing that the reason that we have moving averages in there, because sometimes you'll see the price of the price action come down to the moving average and catch a nice little bounce and then get a push up. It doesn't mean the support level is wrong. It just means that it's bouncing off the moving average and they've recovered the support. So always think about that when you're watching some of these, stocks break down. Watch out for that support, but also watch out for that moving average bounce. My idea for this week, as far as with SPY, because it's a huge tech earnings week, SPY, holds majority is Microsoft, and then they hold Tesla, they hold Amazon. So SPY holds pretty much all the big tech companies. But their biggest mover is Microsoft. So I'm expecting, my entry. This is my idea coming into this week. 374 to 11 trend up to the trend line, which is the bottom here. Let me back it up a little bit, because that's why I took my note off of was the 4-hour chart. So here go my 4-hour. Boom, there you go. So here go my trend beginning at 374.11. You notice that trend goes all the way up. So now I'm looking for it to hold above 392.60, and I'm looking for it to break above break above 396.67, 392.60, break above 396.67 for the final target of 398. That's what I'm trying to trade this week. So I'm gonna be looking for a tight $400 call for the weekly if we get that break above, or if we hold above 392. So pay attention to that 392. Notice that the trend line is still intact. We may get a nice little bounce first thing in the morning, or we may start getting consolidation. Either way it goes, we're gonna have to be patient for it. And if it breaks below the 392.60, I'm looking at the 385 put. But that's a if. I doubt it. I don't think it's going to do that. I think we're going to either consolidate or we're going to have some nice spikes. But as long as this trend line is intact, you have to understand why I use trend lines. Trend lines going to give you indication of more upside, more downside on any time frame. So whatever you're doing, make sure you're going in. You know, if you're making money and you sell a contract and you say, I want to get back into it, make sure you notice the trend line on different time frames, and you got to have an entry point. Do not just jump back into it just because you made money once off of it. Because usually when everything starts running up, you'll start seeing some downside. Again, be patient. If you missed out last week runs, we've been talking about what happened last week for a month because I was trying to prepare you guys for earnings week. I said the week before is usually have a run up. You can take advantage of all your trades and then, you know, wait till the week of and start getting into some weeklies. But this is what you got to always notice is trend lines. There's a possibility that you're going to notice a trend line on no matter what time frame you're on, you're going to find some type of trend line. This was last week. This was on Friday. On the 22nd, they had a small trend line, right? From right here to here. As soon as you notice what happened, once that trend line broke on this is the 5-minute chart. Once that trend line broke on the 5-minute chart, look how much downside it gave you. Now, I seen, you know, everybody thought it's about to fall off. It's about to die. This is the 5-minute trend. So yes, you could have did a small put. I did a 395 put because it's closer into the money, but you could have brought it down to about 392. You know, notice where it bounced off of, right at my support on the 5. But what you got to notice is this is what you got to notice. I'm not panicking. When it does this on the 5, I'm not panicking. I'm going to the 4-hour chart. That's the trend line that we want to hold on to. You feel me? Notice how the 4-hour chart is holding up pretty nicely. But on the 5-minute chart on Friday, they showed you where the downside was going to start around 10:45, 10:30. And that's what you got on a short-term, you know, day trade if you wanted to do it. As soon as that trend line changed, you was able to take advantage of a small area of day trading or so forth and so on. But you have to notice some type of trend. Once you notice that trend, notice what happened when it breaks the trend. This is the downside that you get. That's the small recovery. So basically, yes, your buy-in for SPY is around 392, 393. Look what happened when it got down to that bottom point, reversed right back up, tested at 395. You feel me? On the 5, and then we just right below that area now. So in hindsight, yes, your target is 395 to break before you get to 396. But if you're doing long swings, in my opinion, this is limbo to me. I need this to either go up or down before I make a decision on what I want to do. I want it to go back to 392 so I can get that $400 call and trade it back up to the 398 retest. That's what I want. But if it don't happen, it don't happen. I'm not going to force nothing. I'm not going to rush into nothing. I'm just going to be really patient. Because this, look at the 4-hour chart again. All the way from 374, we've been riding that trend for the last few weeks. For the last month, this is July 15th. We had a whole discussion about these mid months that the recovery happened. Look what happened on that recovery. And this is on Tuesday or Wednesday. What day is that? Yeah, that's Monday. Monday, we had a gap up 4 in the morning. Then by 1:30, we came and hit the bottom. I think a lot of people panic sold here, but look, the bulls came in and recovered that right back up. So if you was patient on Monday, or if you didn't panic, or if you bought something too quickly and didn't really know what the charts was going to look like, your entry for a majority of these stocks would have came on Monday at 1:30, and you would have been in a perfect position to do whatever you want to do because the whole market dropped off, but it did not break trend. That's what you got to pay attention to. As long as that trend is still intact, don't worry about it. Ride it out, buy more, go crazy. That's why you was able to get Amazon contracts for 30 cents, Apple contracts for 10 cents. Now, I mean, that's why you was able to take advantage of those, because of that one Monday dip where everybody felt like, oh, the market falling off, but that trend did not change. So please pay attention to the trend lines. Anybody got questions about trend lines, short-term, long-term trends, whatever?
No questions.
Okay, for sure. And this is SPY. Every week I've been coming in, giving you guys different breakdowns on SPY. The ability to day trade SPY is always going to be an opportunity there. You just got to trust your support areas. This is 10:30 in the morning on Thursday. This is the 21st. Look what happened. If you follow the 10 o'clock rule, 8:45, here go 9:55, here go 10:30. It came right down to 392.60. And look at that recovery. It bounced right back to the 397 in a matter of 2 hours. This is 12:30. That's a beautiful day trade opportunity. Trend line still intact. Next day, it had a nice little, by the end of that day, on the 21st, it had a nice spike up to 398. So the opportunity for day trade was from 392.60 up to 398. We're looking for that same type of move. We talk about consolidation, then decisions. I've been giving you guys that idea for the last few months. Hopefully you guys been paying attention. This is a small area of consolidation. I mean, the price range is going between two prices, not really making a decision. Had a nice little spike, small short-term trend. As soon as it broke that short-term trend, that's when that downside came and the decision made. You feel me? So you should be able to start noticing those things, patterns every week. You feel me? As long as that uptrend on the 4 hours is consistent, the opportunity to trade is always going to be there. So let's see what happened coming into Monday. But I believe that we're going to go test that 398. Earning weeks for all the tech stocks is coming up. This is going to be a huge week. If you didn't make your money last week, this is your week to try to make up for whatever you missed last week. But last week was amazing. If you was locked in, from Sunday session mid-July, you should have been eating. Because we talked about Netflix, we talked about Apple, we talked about all these super early. So, congrats. Amazon contract for $30. There's a reason I told y'all that Amazon never been a contract. I never seen an Amazon contract for 30. Now they cashed out at 450. So pay attention. Next one on the list. Again, everything in pink, earnings. I'm going straight to Apple. I'm bringing back the same stocks that we went over for the last 2-3 weeks. Nothing changing, man. We're just going to stay consistent. These contracts came down to as low as 18 cents for the 155s. And then you see Apple run all the way up to about 156 and some change. 155.85 to be exact. But, it gave you a little pop-up, first thing on the 22nd. But again, 4-hour chart. Let me show you guys this. And this one, I'm not deleting that. I had these charts set up for a very long time. So bear with me when it come down to this chart, but I'm gonna definitely, point out some of these big areas of breaking. Told you guys at 130, get you a 150, 140 call for Apple for September. Reason I said that because the overall downtrend break did happen. The overall downtrend break did happen. So when you see a long-term break, it usually has a big time reaction. It went from 130, and then we got up to as high as about 155.85. And then, we're right here at support right now on the 4-hour. Look for a retest towards that 180, 155.85. But my ultimate target for Apple is 165. But we definitely gonna have to pay attention to that break above this 156. Let's call it a even 156. I had a little short-term trends. I like to just, point out small things when I come in here. If you notice, this is a short-term trend. This was on that Tuesday. You had a short-term trend line. As soon as that trend line broke, that's when that downside came. Opportunity to buy because we're still bouncing off the trend. The overall trend, big time frame trend. See, that's the difference. You can have short-term time frame trends, man. You can have a 5-minute trend, and then it should give you confidence. It should help you understand the direction of where we're going, right? So here go the 5-minute, just like I showed you guys on SPY. When you start noticing these trends, higher lows is when the trend starts. Notice, set up on the trend. As soon as it broke below the trend, what happened? Downside, right to the trend line, the overall trend line on the 4-hour. Once we got that overall trend line on the 4-hour, recovery, full recovery. You feel me? So please pay attention to these trend lines. It's very important. If you bought early, or if you bought in the midst of this trend and you start losing money here, you should have been buying more at this point, being confident, knowing that earnings is coming up, knowing that there's big earnings that happened last week. So please pay attention to that consistently. This week, I'm looking for a 155 call. Watch for the retest towards, that's keeping it tight. You feel what I'm saying? I wanted to run up to at least 154, 68. So I'm just going to do a 155 in the money. If it breaks down below this 153.54, then we'll be doing the 150 put because we're changing on the trend line. That's a 5-minute trend on this scale also. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So if we break this area down, we should be able to see 151. So that's something that you got to pay attention to also. Knowing that it's earnings this week, knowing that earnings been kind of flat lately, this could go either way. But I told you guys it's the summertime. Tech stocks usually run during the summer. And this is what we're getting. We're starting to see big tech runs in the summer. So congratulations if you guys took advantage of whatever. But this week, 155, 160 is going to be the hot topic, especially with earnings coming up. If it makes the move before earnings, please understand there's a possibility of some downside, but make your money while you can. Do not sit up there and say, I'm just going to hold and be up 200, 300% on contracts. Make your money, get out of there, be patient, buy cheap contracts. You don't have to buy nothing expensive during this time. The cheap contracts has been winning. What else we got going on for this week? XOM. I told y'all that the oil stocks is going to slow down. So XOM is definitely starting to come down just a little bit. There's a possibility that we may have a spike. It's earnings week. Their earnings are coming up as well. All the gas and oil. So this can go either way, right? Again, it broke down on the 14th to about $81. Then we've seen a nice little reverse run up to about 89.52 on the 20th. Then we found the support bounce at 85, and now we're right here with it. My suggestion is, this is a tight area to trade. I would love to do $90 calls once it get above $87.27. But if it breaks down to 85, I will definitely watch that 85. If you're into XOM, I'll watch that 85 and then do the $90 call. But $90 call should be reasonably priced either way it go. So if it pops up, you can probably ride that up to the 88, day trade, whatever you want to do, or ride it up to the 89, day trade, whatever you want to do. Or if it comes down, you can buy it here and then wait for that reversal retest towards the 87 and take advantage of that also. But their earnings is coming up this week. I told y'all oil companies more likely going to slow down and we may get consolidation. So the idea is 90 for the call, but if you break about below 85, you'll be able to get an $80 put and try that right back down to the 81. Just an idea. I'm not trying to say run and get XOM. My focus is literally going to be mostly tech. Tech is the hot topic. We're going to keep riding that tech out and calling it a day. Meta. Same stuff from last week. If you guys took advantage of the 180s, congrats. They were super cheap when they ran up to about 182. And then, Snap came out and then you see the drop off. That doesn't mean that Meta is not going to have a good earnings because Snap had a bad one. Facebook is the biggest. You know what I mean? So notice that we held right above the 167. Look for that recovery towards 171, but we still may be able to get back into that 180 for the retest towards 176. But if you don't like that, you can just sit back and wait and see what happens for earnings. If it's going to go down more or it's going to pop more. Again, quality businesses usually win during this time of the year. Facebook is a quality business. They make a lot of money. So notice we talked about their consolidation last week also, and it was around the 167 round. Where is that now? So we're right back at entry price from last week to this week. So let's see. I see some reversal candles on the 4-hour. We may get another retest towards the 182 this week for earnings. Pay attention. Buy-in will be 167 and some change. You know what I mean? 167.66 is the ideal buy-in. Or if it breaks back above 171, that's a good buy-in also. Make it tight, 180 call, 165 call. Those are going to be a little bit more expensive now, but we did the 180 last week. It ran up to 182. We're back at that price point again. So let's see how it go. Again, once you notice that that long consolidation finally broke in the direction of the market, this flip on us right here, we have to be confident. Once Facebook got to 172, we would have to be confident to know that we're going to at least 176. And that was just giving, that was making a tight area for you guys. I wasn't really trying to, go crazy. I just want to do a 180 call, keep it simple, call it a day. I don't care what Snap did because you shouldn't have been in it no more. You should have made your money because those contracts literally went from 300%. You feel what I'm saying? So let's see how that go. Anybody got questions on Meta?
What day is this earnings on?
Meta earnings is on the 27th. Everything's on the 28th, 27th. Microsoft on the 26th. Amazon on the 28th. Exxon on the 29th.
Yeah, I'm already in that Exxon play. I know you say you ain't gonna be too tough on it. So anybody who be interested in it, I'm probably gonna post updates on it as long as I'm in Exxon mobile play, because I've been wanting to play with them for earnings because of the way gas been and everything, the whole Russia war. I'm sure they made some money, even though the last month gas went down.
Yeah, and yeah, I finally got gas for under $4 just the other day. I was happy.
You're in Florida, right?
Yeah, it felt good in Florida. But yeah, he's 100% correct.
387.
Fact. Oh yeah. That's good. We're doing good numbers now. But again, I told y'all gas was gonna slow up eventually. We can't, gas been running for the last 6, 7, 8 months. So this is their time to slow down. So you could trade that either way, but just be patient. Wait for those trends. Again, trend lines are there for a reason. And as soon as them trend lines break, you're starting to see these big drops, and you can take advantage of those. As long as you got your chart set up accordingly, you should be able to see all trend line breaks. You should be able to see trend line continuations. If you're going on long swings, you should be able to see pretty much anything you want, man. There's been some great setups. Amazon. This is my favorite trade last week, man, because it was 30 cents a piece and they went to 450. Cheap, man, cheap. This is the 120 call. Super cheap.
Matt, I missed that one.
That was the first. Remember, I told you last week. That was the first thing I told y'all to look at. Amazon.
I know, man. When I didn't even get to go back to Sunday session, but I knew it was hitting because I remember some of the hot topics we talked about last week. Sure. So in the middle of the week, I'm like, I know Sunday session still hitting, but Amazon was just one that I slipped up and missed, man. I wish I would have got that one, but it was so many good ones.
It was so many. That's why. But listen. I'm happy no matter what you do. You get whatever trade you want. As long as you make money out, I'm happy. My strategy is different. I want the cheapest. I don't give a damn how much. I don't want to spend $300-$400 a contract. I want $30 into $450. That's all, you know what I mean?
Listen,
Apple contracts was literally 18 cents. They went for 200. I don't care about none of that.
I did a couple snaps last week. I put out way out the money Snapchat contract. It did numbers, but then I did a straddle for earnings. I got a $12.50 put for like $14.
Yeah,
too bad I only bought one of them.
No, for sure. But that's the season that's the season we're in. You're going to be able to buy cheap stuff. I mean, that's why I'm paying attention to like Amazon, because Amazon was just $102 when we talked about, like I talked about Netflix at $170. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why I was bringing up all these a month ago, because I wanted to be prepared for these last 2 weeks, because this is the time. Like, you got to be early. Like, you don't have to. You do what you want to do, but I like to be early. I mean, that's my, my way of doing it. I just learned from my mistakes. Last year we was super, early on things, but the contract time frame wasn't right. So that's why I'm telling you August, September last month, because I want that time frame to be right. So that's where we at now. Hopefully y'all are in August and September contracts, because I really want to catch it from the bottom all the way up to see how far it go. But yeah, the 130 was 30 cents for Amazon. You feel what I'm saying? And that was all the way to September. So we talked about those, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, continue to pay attention, man. Continue to, take your notes, set your alert, do whatever you want to do, man. It'd be so much information out, man. You just got to lock in on what you want. You know what I mean? So you can trade whatever you want to trade. As long as you're making money, I'm happy. But here go Amazon. We need Amazon to hold above 125.63. I talked to somebody in the lobby. They asked me, what you think about Amazon. I say, look, Amazon break this 122 and some change. We're definitely gonna go see that 125. It ran up to 125.52. Now we came right back down to the support at 121 and some change. Blase. Now you notice that we're holding at this area. We can watch out for those above 122, same area, same thing, 122.80. And I posted that in the lobby. Somebody asked me the questions in the main lobby. 122.80. We break over there. We're looking at 125 again. You can trade, and those contracts are cheap, and their earnings is this week. So you may be able to stretch that out to the 130s coming into this week. But as long as we hold above 121, and if we break above 122.80, I'm doing a 125, 130, and just ride it up to earnings. I believe Amazon gonna have a good earnings regardless. Especially they just announced they got into the weed sector or the healthcare sector. Man, Amazon got some big stuff coming. And this is what happens around earnings. All these companies start bringing out their announcements, trying to get, investors excited. And then, the earnings may come up flat, but it may not drop as much, or it may go up a little bit. So you never know, but as long as you're preparing for it, you're straight. Hopefully everybody bought whole shares at 102. And then, we're back at that split price. I told y'all, when y'all see a stock split, just save the money. There's no rush. There's no rush, man. You feel what I'm saying? I wanted 100. It came down to 102. I believe it's going to come back down to 102 by September. I may be wrong. Who knows? You feel what I'm saying? But for right now, 125 calls above 123. And if we break that 125.63, 130 calls for sure. You feel what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to trade that up to the 130. 133 is the target for the 4-hour chart. So we're going to ride it out like that. Anybody got questions on Amazon?
Can you hit Google for me?
Yeah, for sure.
Ever since they split, I kind of slowed down on Amazon.
Amazon is listen, Amazon, 5 years from now, we're going to look at Amazon like, damn, there was $100. Man, Amazon is the hit, man. In my opinion, I believe that Amazon is the one. Amazon is Neo, bro. That's just my opinion.
But see, when you grew up on that whole Google thing, man, it's like, I remember when Google was a little Amazon. So I can agree with you that Amazon might be the next Google. But for some reason, man, Google done took over my whole life. Growing up, Google was everything. Amazon is something new now.
No. The reason I say I like Amazon, because I don't feel like Amazon gonna ever stop. And with all these government contracts, they, Jeff, knowing the things about Jeff Bezos, know what I mean, the things that you want to know, even though he stepped down, he still, owns shares of it. Amazon ain't gonna never slow down, bro. You feel what I'm saying? For them to split like they did, and I believe in 5 to 10 years, it'll be back at $1,000, $1,500. So, that's a great.
I think Amazon motivated Google. Google probably would have never split if Amazon wouldn't have.
Right. So, Google is a great company too. Google is an amazing company too. So it's Google L that we want to look at. That's why I had to go look real quick. My bad.
Yeah, I was wondering because last time I traded them, I think I did Google C. I figured they was both similar enough.
Yeah, they all move the same. It ain't nothing too much different. I'm just, if you're doing options, if you're trading them, just go for the one with the most volume. That's what I like to do. You feel me? I keep it simple. I ain't trying to go crazy this year, man. I'm just keeping it basic, man. Basic as possible. Because the opportunity is already there. The good companies already laid out for y'all. The opportunity is already there for good companies. Of course, trade what you want to trade. Trade what you're what you're good at. But dude, I'm just looking at what the good companies on discount. They're on discount, like for real. Here go Google. Looking like a break above this 108.11. And we should be able to have a nice little push towards the 111, and then 115 and 119 is the top resistance. But it looked like it has been in a small area consolidation. Not small, it's the 4-hour chart. So it definitely been bouncing off of the bottom 104. The resistance is 119, especially with the earnings coming up on the 26th. Oh yeah, it looked like it's breaking the downtrend on FinViz. You starting to see that little downtrend break. Don't mean nothing. It don't mean it's gonna die. But I'll just be patient on this one. Let's see if it hits that 104 again. Or let's see if it breaks above this 108, and then we'll be able to play that up to the 111, 115. But their contract prices seem reasonable, like seem extremely reasonable. 115s, what are 115s at? Yeah, 115 would be the ideal trade. And they cost $120. And that's the one with the most volume. So the 115 will be the ideal trade for Google. But wait till it find this direction. If you want to wait till 111 to break, or no, just do it at 108. I mean, I think earnings gonna give them a nice little push up. 26 is in 2 days, so that's a Tuesday. After market, so you definitely be able to get it at a good price. But if it start running first thing tomorrow, just be patient. You don't have to really rush it. If it breaks 119, it's going to push up higher. So, just pay attention to those areas. But the first trade will be a 115 trade above 108. But just say 109 and then make it see how it go.
All right, bet. Appreciate that.
Sure. And you notice that it's right there at it right now. So it should have a nice pop right here. Everything can't slow down on Tuesday. If you got 3 straight great days of green, of course, Friday going to slow down. I mean, RSIs was high. I mean, if you was paying attention to it. So anybody else got a stock? We got Meta, got Microsoft at 260. Everything's at a good price again because of what happened on Friday. But just like I showed you guys on SPY, as long as that trend line is holding up in there, you guys should be able to take advantage of it. Boeing, no one's really talking about Boeing. I'm surprised. But we did talk about the 160 calls. I thought it was far-fetched, but obviously they proved me wrong. It ran up to about 162 this week. I mean, it was way down here when we mentioned it around 132. That was the long consolidation area. And then now we're up here now. We're at 160s, 157, 160 area. We had that long area consolidation here. Now, I mean, as soon as it had that strong bullish candle above 141, it kind of retested it on the 14th, and then boom, it popped right on up to 162. Again, those contracts are super cheap. We talked about it a month ago, and then you start to see those are working out now. So same thing. Earnings is coming up. It doesn't mean it's going to go up. It doesn't mean I don't know what's going to happen. But if you're trading off support and resistance, all you gotta do is be patient. Majority on Mondays is a great day to sit back and just chill. Because you notice what happened on Monday. We get that fake out in the morning, get a little bit of downside, and then the next day, by the midday, you get a nice direction towards where you want to go. But if you guys are waiting for your support for entry, you should be able to win. You know what I mean? If 10 o'clock rule working in your favor, you should be killing it, because 10 o'clock rule is giving out huge discounts. But yeah, Boeing is already pushing towards their area. Above that 164, that's when I got the 172, then the 180, and then ultimate target price is 190. But let's see what happened at this area here. It's right below that resistance / support from back over here, back in May. So, pay attention. Let's see how far it may come down to about 154. But let's see what happened. It closed right below the resistance. So, and that's pretty much it. I really ain't got much, man. This last week was amazing. Congrats, guys. You guys did a great job. Congrats on Netflix, man. That was probably the biggest discount. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, trend line broke. It looked like it's gonna try to fill the gap up to 250. Let's talk about Netflix real quick. We talked about it a month ago, but I think we just kind of, forgot about it. Don't forget about Netflix. Everybody went to go see. Everybody looking at that movie online, The Gray Man. Like, bro.
Hey, that bit good, boy.
Yeah, that bit fire. A bit fire, bro. But again, we talked about Netflix when it was at 163, 177, guys. Netflix at 220. Like, it's a reason why you got to be early. And I'm not trying to, when I talk about this stuff a month before time, y'all need to have some notes in your head, some mental notes or some alerts, something. Because that move, once it got above 190, I mean, that's a beautiful move. You know what I mean? But again, we were super early. So just because I'm early doesn't mean that, just forget about it. Like the consolidation was there. Once it broke out of consolidation, there go your direction. Simple as that, guys. And I believe it's going to continue once we get above 225. The next target going to be 224. And that square I got right here is the gap that I told you guys about. So, gap fill will happen once it get above 224. We'll be on trajectory for the gap fill up to about 330. So pay attention to that. That's a huge gap fill. And we're still early enough that it's not, not far-fetched. Anybody else?
Yeah, that's gonna
You
be
can
a
look
good
at
one.
What's up?
you look at pets.
Oh, pets. I haven't heard that one in forever.
Yeah.
They got earnings coming up too?
Yep.
Yeah, 25th. Oh my God, that's crazy. I haven't talked about this one in forever. But yeah, man, we could definitely set something up. Target $23.29. Let me show you where the support is at. Resistance is $22.28. Bottom support is $19.61. The support where it's at now is $20.95. This is the 1-day chart. We're literally right there at that support area now. It's right below it. So that means we may see some a little bit of more downside. But yeah, potentially it may push up to the 23. What you trying to do? A $25 call?
Yeah, I was looking at the 25. They got the closest one, August 19th. But ain't number 20 cents.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, perfect. I mean, as long as they cheap, this is the cheap time. I don't know about everybody else, but this is the time where you pay little to nothing and make a lot of money. Like it's about, if you spend $100 on 25 contracts, boom, that's you got 5 contracts, and you can kind of split it up a little bit better. You can sell 2, keep 3, like you can kind of maneuver it a little bit better. So thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. But yeah, bottom support 1965. It ran up to $22.28 on the 11th. Notice that we're trying to hold it right at that $20.93. I mean, to look at it the way I'm looking at it, man, I will not wait, but I will be more confident in getting a 25 once you get above $22.28. That's just my opinion. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they earn is like in the middle of the week.
It's the 25th. It's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. And that's just my opinion to look at that. If it consolidate all day tomorrow, well, boom, we got our sideways movement into the earnings. Mind you, these contracts.
Yeah, I look back at their last 3 earnings, like on that they have a big green candle.
Right.
Like each time on earnings.
They beat.
And I think I made some money off them last year this time.
Oh yeah, for sure. They missed 3 out of 4. The last one was the first quarter. They beat it clearly.
Yeah, they'll have a big red candle and a big green candle.
No, for sure. Let's see what happens. Man. It's a low volume. Make sure you know what you're doing as far as that low volume stocks. Be careful, of course. But yeah, the $25 call looked good. 25 cents is the ask, $20 is the bid. You could probably get it for 23 cents. So yeah, definitely, it looked good. Definitely looked good. Notice in 2 areas, as long as it's in we in a good consolidation. This the 1-day chart. Bottoms again, we're right in between, the top resistance and the bottom support. So yeah, once that decision happened, or if Monday come up, is it before market? Yeah, it's after market. So that's better. So if tomorrow come in and you just see it start consolidating all day and not really making a choice, that's better for us. You feel what I'm saying? You definitely start, take advantage of it. So, and it's right. We may go down to 19. If you catch it at 1965, That's better
Oh, I'm
overall.
on it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely on it then.
Right, exactly, because we've seen it bounce off the area twice. He gave us a double bottom at that area twice already. It should be able to bounce again. So, yeah, yeah. Anybody else? Are y'all sure? It's a lot of earnings this week.
Talking about them patterns, I was looking at Exxon. Like I said, I was in Exxon. I was looking at Exxon last night, and I noticed that since 2015, if you look on the monthly chart, every July and August has been red
Yeah,
since
it did.
2015.
Yes, sir. 100%. 100%.
So, and I'm like, if you look at this month, I think it's already starting red for July. Or no, it's holding on barely.
So this is what I was trying to figure out, because since we already know that it's always downside during this time, I'm trying to see where it's going to stop at. So I got $75 is if it breaks below on the monthly, or if it breaks below 85, we can get $75 up out of there. You feel what I'm saying? You know, this is a big red candle here on the 1 month. So I'm trying to see how far it's going to come down. I mean, notice how the price went from $32 up to as high as $105. You feel what I'm saying? So of course it has to slow down. It has to slow down. Yeah, I'll check out Intel, bro, for sure. It has to slow down though. It has to.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The way the candles drop on these monthlies, you had some big candles on this oil. So that's 65. Like, if we get a heavy red this month, the last week of this month, and a heavy red in August, that 65 might pay out.
Yep. The 65.
Because I think, like, if we close July under 85, 75, I feel like it's guaranteed.
Yep. All you gotta do is go. All you gotta do is go to October. Get you like a 65, $7 all the way to like October. Usually oil recover and start trying to work his way back up around October, November.
Yeah, I was reading the charts last night, and I noticed that I'm like, for the last 7 years on the monthly, all those July and August are red candles, back-to-back red candles on the monthly.
Yep, and use that recovery comes later. 2001 recovery started in, there go October, there go September, October. Pandemic recovery started, October. And there go November. See a nice little spike. So look towards that end to kind of gauge on how far to go out. Facts. Intel at $39. Older company, but we still like Intel. A nice candle coming in now at around a 36. But let me redo it. If you guys want to screenshot this, screenshot it, but I'm about to delete it. 5, 4, 3, 2, boom, gone. All right, here we go. Here go Intel. Now, two things you got to notice I've ripped with Intel. This was your area where, Intel was holding up. It kept on bouncing off of, and let's clear this up real quick. So Intel once it broke below 44, that's when you got that downside. Top resistance is 64. You can go mid area too. Boom, right there. So 44. Oh wow, that's funny. 44, 54, and 64. Right. And then now, since we're below that area, we can pull this over. Let me go back and get another one real quick. Now we're here. And this is part of that, trading in the zone we've been talking about for the last couple months, finding out your areas to trade in. So Intel support area on the 1 month is $37.28. Their resistance area, and pull that up a little bit, is around $44.39. And then in between these two, let's find some stuff in between there real quick. Boom. And it's above, it's right at the 39. So it's right at resistance / support right now on the monthly right there. And then this is the 1 month. So you take that 1 month, do the same thing we always do, drop down to the 4 hour. There you go. There your setup, right? Now you could pull that over and add some more stuff. I see a reversal candle coming in right now at the 39. We should go test that $40 area. Usually Intel contracts are reasonably priced, so you really don't have to, you could buy a $40 call. Know what I mean? The moving average that's bouncing off of is the 50-day moving average. You change that color. They all look pink. I gotta change that color. Oh yeah, that's the 50. That's the 50-day moving average there. I want to change it to like blue or something. All right, boom. There you go. This the 50-day moving average is bounced off of. On the 4-hour, I see a bullish, it look like a reversal candle coming in. We should go reverse and see that 40. This is the 4-hour time frame. If you go down to the 15-minute time frame, there you go. Right there at the support/resistance. So we should have a nice move upwards. Now, from the 15-minute chart, of course, you can grab more data, come in here, put your quadrant lines in there, and then you go level by level. But really, I mean, it don't really mean much to kind of go level by level. In my opinion, I'll just go for the $40 call. If it breaks above this $39.45, get you a 40, ride it up to about $39.93, take a couple dollars and keep moving. Now, if you want to go long, you'll have to be looking at the $45 call, which you're going to try to trade it from 37 to 45. Of course, that would be ideal. But we're literally right there at 39. There's nothing wrong with going 45. Finding some contracts for it. August 19th, of course, looking really good. 45 is 22 cents cheap. I mean, I'm just cheap. I just like cheap contracts. I mean, if you can, the $40 call ain't bad at 142 cent. Open interest is 39,000 on that one, so that's not bad either. If you want to go September, and their earnings is on the 28th, keep that in mind. So we may see some downside depending on how you feel about it. If you want to go September, they got the $40 calls. That's not bad either. 186, buying you a little bit more time, going a little bit longer. $45 call for September ain't bad at all either. 45 cents. So, confirmation break has to be the $44.39 because we looked at it on the 4-hour chart, and that was the area where it was bouncing in between, before it broke below, right? So you kind of have to, look at that as being like a confirmation area. Notice right here, it kept on bouncing off of it, finally broke down. So more than likely, we're going to retest this 44.39, hopefully for earnings. So if you're into it, ideal entry will have to be $37 and some change. But yeah, we definitely can look at the 45. I'll go September 45, see what happens. But if it start breaking back down to 37, just watch this area. We may have some more downside. Confirmation for more downside has to be $35. Just call it $36. So this is the 1-day chart. Know what I mean? Anybody got questions on Intel? You should be able to do a 45 for Intel September, mid-September. Anybody else?
Can you do Carnival, bro?
Carnival, CCL.
Yeah. That's another cheap one that be moving.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of cheap ones, man. I see somebody posted PLTR. That was a good cheap stock. So here we go.
I wanted to double check on that because I remember she said something about like a 1050 or something, and then I had checked on it that morning. It was up to 1070 something. I was like, "Oh, you in the money?"
Exactly. I mean, it's a lot of cheap stocks, man. This week, you honestly could have picked whatever you wanted. The reason I focused on Amazon, because I felt like that was going to give you the bang for your buck, but you could have picked whatever you wanted. It was a good week. That's what happened when tech season come around. Tech season is summertime. Always summertime. Just remember that. When you see tech fall in the beginning of the year, look for the recovery in July. It happens every year. So here go Carnival Cruise Line. Go to the 4-hour chart. It looked like the buy-in area is $8.73. It did run up to $10.92 in back end on the 20th. I think that was around the earnings time, and then it's starting to break back down again. It has not broken below $8.31. Hopefully, we'll be able to see a nice little recovery or hold around this $8 and some change, like right here. We should be able to see some hold 8.75 ish. But look for that retest towards the $10 and above $10. We should retest the 11, and then from there it should be back on trajectory back up. But the ultimate break for Carnival Cruise Line, I think I said it before, is $11.46. That's confirmation that we're going to get back up into that groove, going back up to $14 and then $19 above 14. So notice it has not been back above 11.46. So it's just been, bottom just up to about $10 and so forth and so on. But just like I told y'all, I said I think Carnival going to be at $25 by the end of the year. I really do. I think Carnival going to have a good recovery. A lot of people
they're making money right now.
They're making money, man. They're making money. It may not look like it. Their earnings was not bad. I told you their revenue was going to be up. Their revenue was up during their earnings. So, you're starting to see a little bit of downside. It's fine. No panic. If you got the $20 calls for next year, I think it's going to work itself out.
Hey, Dave, you want to just check on the video for me?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's go look at the calendar real quick. I don't think, no, they already did their stuff. Oh, yeah, we do got some stuff coming up. QCOM, oh, yeah, Intel, okay. AMD, August 2nd. Yeah, so yeah, that sector is coming right back around on earnings also. So the video should get a little bit of push because of that. The video is sitting at 172. Here go the 4-hour chart. You notice the bottom of the video was about 143, and then it recovered that 158 again. Every time it hit 158, we always get the 180 call or the 180 move. If you ain't set your alarm by now, I don't know what else to say, but it done that ever since May. Every time it hit 158, it's had a nice little move up here. Here go 158 again, nice little move, and then it finally just gave up, right? And then once it gave up to about 144, it actually recovered to 158 and hit 180. So we're right there at it again. See a reversal candle here. Let's see if it go make another move towards the 180, but a break above 180, you should be confident enough to get $200 call. But if not, then you'll see a double top set up, and then it should drop back down to the 158s, 160s.
Yeah, because they the Senate got what's the name? They voting on the CHIPS bill this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's a good week to do it. We got some chip companies that's having earnings. NVIDIA is one of the biggest players in that industry. So yeah, definitely it'd be nice.
And Pelosi, she got some money in it.
Oh yeah, Pelosi, she voting heavy. She like, yes, do it. But yeah, man, 158 to 180 should always be a nice move. What else y'all got going on? Now this week is packed. It's fun filled, guys. It's a packed week. So don't be afraid to ask questions. There's a lot of stuff going on this week. MRK, one of our old school ones, ran up to about $95. And then now it's starting to slow down a little bit right before their earnings. I think they got an announcement coming out this week. But I think they're gonna have their final push coming up soon. It's holding at 89 right now. I don't know who all remember MRK. This is an easy, consistent trade. Every time it come down to 83 now, we put it out at 78, but now it's starting to bounce off to 83, having a nice move up to the $94, $95 area. Now we're sitting at 89 right now. So stay consistent with the old school ones too, man. These are cheap contracts that turn out to be nice prices once you start making a move. With the earnings coming up and the announcement, look for a move towards that 91. We got to recover 91. Anybody else got questions? I mean, that's pretty much it with the Apple. If y'all look at Microsoft real quick, Microsoft has earnings also this week. Again, it's tech season, so we should be, take advantage of a whole bunch of tech stocks. Microsoft was at 148, lower than that, 143. and it keep bouncing up and recovering that 160. So I mean, at two, I'm sorry about that. It was at 243 and it recovered and got that 260 back. So definitely something to look at. Overall downtrend still there though. We really have to break above 270 to kind of change that overall downtrend. But yeah, this week should be it should be adventurous. This should be a nice week. Some day trades should be having it coming in. Should we have some nice uptrends? Yes, the trend line in here on the 4 hour. Mind you, all the tech stock on 4 hour time frame does have a nice uptrend on there. So, you know, just follow the trend. Every time it come down to the trend line, there's an opportunity to buy, especially if you want to push it back up. Then you always add your resistance in there. Small resistance at the 264 area. So you always can, you know, pay attention to that as being a goal to where we need to get to. Once we recover that, we definitely have to break above 268, but 270 is definitely the goal to get to and break over. But all the tech stock have a nice trend line. Ever since 715, everything has been on a reversal and recovering. We talked about it for the last couple of Sunday sessions. The 4 hour trend line is strong. Anybody else?
With you talking about tech and stuff, I know about that. What you think about QQQ?
QQQ should look just like SPY. It should be almost identical. Let's see. QQQ.
That's like, you know how UBXY is with SPY, isn't like QQQ the same for NASDAQ and all that?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So boom, there you go. Nice little trend on QQQ. We already covered the 300. It looked like it went and tested the 309 area. Let's go down to the 15. Yeah, it bounced up to about 307. Didn't really hold that area. Came right back down to the 300. Look for that test to that 307 this week. You should be able to do a 310 call and take advantage of it.
Bet.
Especially with tech coming back up, you know what I mean? This should have a nice little move. And those contracts should be reasonably priced too, man. I'll be forgetting about QQQ. They be having some good price contracts sometimes. And you really want to go out a little bit past this date, if you can afford it. If you can do the 29th, 310, yeah, it's only number $183. That's the highest value that coming in is 310. So yeah, everybody like the 310s.
Bet.
Let me go back and look real quick. Now, if it breaks, you know, 299, that'll be an ideal buy. 300, 200. It'll give you a small area discount, but not much. But yeah, it looked like it's holding that area. So we should go and we're just gonna look. I'm not saying it's gonna get to 310, but the resistance is 307. You feel what I'm saying? So if we break the 307, then we can be holding on longer to the 310. But if you want to trade it from the 300 up to the 307, that's fine too. But Monday, I'm telling y'all, Monday is a great day to sit back, read your charts, see how things is moving, put some short-term trends in there, and then look at your 4 hour trend line. By 230, 245, look at your 4 hour trend line and see how things is moving. But that first 30, 45 minutes, when it start bouncing or going wherever it got to go, put your trend line in there. You know, the trend lines is going to save you. It's going to save you money. It's going to save you on how you post the enter. It's going to help you out. Know what I mean, even this the 15. I could do it on QQQ also. This is the 15-minute chart, right? Even if I go here, you know, throw a trend line in there, it helps me decide. So say if, you know, I buy in at 299 where it broke the resistance and I ride it up to 307. If I don't know about a double top and I'm just using a trend line, I have to get out that trade right when it breaks 205 because that's breaking the trend line. It did not hold the trend line at this point. But if I notice the double top, I'm out at, you know, 306, of course, because it's a double top. The rule don't change no matter what time frame you're on. You just, you know, you got to just have the conversation. if you're looking at it and not really pointing out the things that you're noticing, then it's going to be, you're just blind at a certain point. But if you got the trend line in there, if you noticing, oh shoot, it's 11 a.m. QQQ trend line broke, I can get a put down of 300 from 305 day trade. It's going to be expensive, but boom, it's a possibility. Wait until they come down 300, sell it, get back into the 205s, 210s, and see how it reverses back up, right? So, short-term trend lines is going to always help you out if you're, understanding it, higher low situations. Don't worry about if the trend line matches back here. What you're worried about is where the higher low situations start. Put your trend line in there. As soon as it breaks the trend, you either got to get out or wait, or get a put, or wait until they hit the bottom, and then your support is solid. Get your buy in at your support and do what you got to do. But it has been clear trends on every time frame. It's been clear double tops. It's been clear, direction after consolidations. Everything been pretty much set up, given to us on these setups. Anybody got questions? But yeah, it's definitely. I hope everybody went back to school shopping too, man. It was tax-free weekend. Anybody else got questions?
When y'all go back to school?
We go back to August. Is it August 15th? I think August 15th, August 12th, somewhere around there.
Oh yeah. About the same time.
Yeah, same time. Yeah, already got the kids stuff. They ready. They've been ready since last year, though. We've been shopping all year. They've been locked and loaded. But they feet growing so big. I mean, so fast, man.
Listen,
I'm this close to getting some Bobos. I'm this close to going to Walmart getting Bobos. I'm tired of buying this boy shoes and he growing out of them. I'm tired.
Oh, it's constant, bro. It's constant. And shoes expensive now, man. It don't
Right.
matter what size you
Right. Crazy, bro. Especially, man, dude. Man, I ain't gonna even, it don't matter. It don't matter. I'm trying to have my kids looking like, I got on Jordans. I want them to have, man, can't do that no more. They gotta wear Bobos. They got me in that scrubbing shoes.
Hey, until they learn their responsibility.
Exactly, bro. I'm scrubbing their shoes with the shoe cleaner. I can't do that, bro. I'm tripping. Anybody else though, man? I mean, listen, I like to come in on Sundays, talk about charting. Hope you guys are picking up some ideas. Hope you guys are understanding, day trade charting. It may look a little different, but the concept is still the same. So if you're using a 5-minute to do charting on the day trades, let's use QQQ as an example of a possible day trade idea and show you why 10 o'clock rule is good, right? I'm gonna delete everything off of QQQ, start from scratch. This is the 5-minute chart.
No, do NASDAQ.
Oh, you want to do the whole NASDAQ?
Yeah, do the NASDAQ.
And futures is up right now too on NASDAQ. Or it looked like it was up. I don't know. So boom, here go the NASDAQ. This is the 5-minute chart. Again, let's clear this out. I'm gonna take a day. What day can I find? A 9:30. So this is 9:30. That was a consolidation day. I can see that from here, but let's try it, right? The thing about day trading is really is patience. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The day trade winners are really patient and wait for their entry. And they're reading their candles is pretty much on point. Especially if you guys can understand how to read the candles. And them short-term trends, I mean, it's so much you can do to figure out, where does it stand. So this is literally a consolidation day. I shouldn't even use it, but I'm gonna see what I can pull out the hat. So right here is a 1 day. Oh yeah, it's the 1 day. 4. Why I say? Oh, that's PM. I mean, no, that's the right. No, I need AM. Because NASDAQ don't stop. I never use NASDAQ. I ain't use no dog on NASDAQ, man. I can't trade
I'm
NASDAQ.
trying to
What you
think
trying
of
to
the
see?
ticker. The
I'm trying to
ticker.
show them how to do a day trade. I'm not gonna do a day trade on NASDAQ, but the charting
True.
it never stops. You know what I mean? I can't find like a full day. Like it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. You know what I mean?
I be charting NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P just to kind of guide me with the market with different stocks.
But I only use that on big time frames. So if I'm using the NASDAQ or the S&P, I'm looking at it on the 1 week, 1 day. Because once that trend, remember I told you about how the trend changed on the NASDAQ, that's how you know it's the bear season is coming in. When that overall trend changes.
Fact.
Right. So that's how I can see it like that. I can't really, figure out a trade. But if I do an Apple, I can figure out a trade on Apple. So I can show you why the 10 o'clock rule is valuable and how to take advantage of a Dow trend. This is Apple. I'm about to delete everything. Of course, I always want to tell you I'm deleting it because I do put the work in on the charts. So if you wait the first 30 minutes of the market, you should be able to notice some type of high and some type of low. And then I'm gonna show you guys this, and this is gonna be, pretty dope in my opinion. But you should be able to notice a high and a low. This is the high and the low from 8:40 all the way over to about 10:30. 10 o'clock rule, right? The same way that we look at the 4-hour chart, you should be able to notice these things on, every time frame. It shouldn't even matter. You should be able to come in here and be like, look, first thing in the morning at 9:30, we had a resistance area at 154. By 10 o'clock rule, we're down here to about 152. From this alone, that's when you start breaking down everything else, right? Double bottom. Reversal candle. Now, I mean, you got to start, if you're a day trader, and I know it seems like it's going to be a lot, but I swear it's so simple. I'm not going to lie to you. Because it's only 5 minutes apart, right? This only 30 minutes right here. This is a double bottom. This is a double top. And this before market open. So the double top showed itself before market open. Then you got your downside on the 5 minute. Then you got your double bottom here. And then what you get, reversal, right? So when the price of the stock come down on the 5 minute and you see this bullish candle, bullish engulfing, then you see 3 candles, like, hold up, let's see what this candle gonna do, which most people gonna, your support area should have been showed right here. You know what I mean? So without all this data over here, right here is when the first time it shows support. So that should have been keyed in on. Now, I mean, you should be like, okay, hold up, as long as it holds above 152.26, I should be able to get a 155 call and retest it towards the 154. So don't be afraid at 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning to set your chart up, especially if you want to pull out a day trade. Don't be afraid, because that's going to show you what area you're, again, trading within the zone. Don't have to be big time frames all the time. I use big time frames because I'm a swing trader. If you're a day trader, you should know by 9:30 to 10:30, I should have a support, I should have a resistance. Once I key in on either one of those, the decision should be made once I see a bullish engulfing or a double bottom. The same things we've been learning for the last couple of months, you should be able to key in on these things and take advantage of the trade, period. So once Apple came down to 152 and it showed you that double bottom scenario, then you got that straight move up to 154. That's why I tell y'all to always trade the retest. Again, if we have a double top at 8:40 to 9 o'clock in the morning, it's more than likely going to retest that area. You just got to stop. Don't panic. Wait and see when everything comes down where it's going to stop at. Once you get that stop, that's when you're going to know, boom, we already got our double bottom. Now we're on to just drag to the 155 call. If the 155 call, you got an option. Once it gets up to 154, do you want to hold? Do you not want to hold? Once it breaks above there and you start the same conversation you had at the bottom, it didn't break above at this point, but look at the difference on a 5 minute chart. These candles are sitting right on top of Old resistance, new support. That's why I keep on repeating the same thing to y'all. No matter what goes on, what you want to do, the charts matter. Right? So boom, now we already be in our 155s. Now we're holding because now we're broken up above the resistance. Now it's going to find a new layer. The new layer comes in now, right? So say if I have all that conversation over here, the same thing I just did at the bottom, when we came down to 152, is the same thing I'm gonna do here. The difference is that we got consolidation, right? That's a better idea to be able to hold through because now we're like, dude, it's consolidating. You feel what I'm saying? I can just wait. I can just ride this out, right? And then you'll notice once the resistance test, you get that consolidation, test the resistance, it didn't hold. You got no candles really holding above this area. Then it's broken back down. That's when you already know. Downside is a must. Where does it come back down to? You know, it hasn't really hit that area yet, but more than likely, if we can, we'll be able to get the 152 again. You should be able to pull off the same trade again. Y'all understand that? Even if we break above 154 right here, and it may retest 155, even if I just take this data, now I mean this data that's right below, boom, I just take this line right there, boom, same thing, what we see, consolidation, small area consolidation on the 5 minute. If we break above 154, I can pull off a 155 and wait for that retest. If we break below 153, I can pull off a 150 put and just try to get to the 152. Let it get down to the 152. But there's always going to be an area of movement, guys. And this happens so often that, you know, sometimes we just sit back and forget. But you don't have, you can come in here on Sunday, have some, you know, idea of what to set my alert point, price points where I can set my alert, or you can wait till Monday when the market open up, take that first hour, go in, run and hit your charts real quick, find out where your resistance at, find out where the price stops at, and trade that. But there's possibilities to trade all the time. It don't matter. Just use the same rules that we always use. Notice the things that you're noticing. Double bottom, double top, bullish engulfings, reversal candles. Just use the same simple steps. You don't have to be the best candle reader in the world. All you got to do is find the things that you like to notice where you make money off of. Simple. Everybody understand? And the market is going to always show you the same type of thing. It's going to show you where it's going to be a bottom. It's going to show you where it's going to move from the top. It's going to show you something. Every time.
Charts never lie.
Charts never lie. That's why I'll never sit back here and you don't matter. Like certain things just don't matter. Like I don't have to wake up here and feel like I have to make money today. So half the time, my best trades come from sitting back waiting. Cause that Tuesday, when that Monday, when everything dropped off, I mean, it was just amazing. Now I mean, it was just an amazing opportunity. Now I mean, another thing is if this is the 4-hour chart, and I keep on saying this, as long as that trend on the big time frame is holding up, yes, if you're day trading, them short-term trends going to change. They're going to fluctuate. They're going to break. But that long trend, long-term, you know, trend line is holding up pretty well. Just ride it out if you're on some long contracts. If you're in the 150, 140s, it's no indication of me. Why should I sell anything? You're up 200, 300, 400% on some 2-month contracts. The trend line has not told me to sell nothing. I'm in 140s, 150s. Now, there's nothing wrong with you selling that 155 and collecting your check. Congrats. But for a long swing like that, that's why I put out the Septembers like that. Y'all should be riding these out. Again, there was under the most expensive contract was $635, and the least expensive was like $345. They're both over almost at the 600 that hit by 1,800 this week. The $350 contract hit about 900, almost $1,000. But I got almost 2 months left, so that's how you capitalize off it. And then mind you, I don't want to keep saying this. I told y'all this at 130. So that's what happens when you're, being patient enough to sit back and wait until things happen and things develop. But when I seen Apple overall downtrend break, that gave me the utmost confidence that I can ride out any contract for Apple until the trend line break. I can ride Apple all the way up to the trend line. As long as we keep bouncing off the trend line for Apple, I'm fine. But if you're a day trader, as soon as you start seeing Apple do, doing short-term trend breaks and all that stuff, you got to move a little different because you're a day trader. But if you're in them long swings, ride them out until the trend line break. We're straight. But once that trend line reverse and breaks, okay, I may not have my 400, 500%, but I got 300%. I'm fine. But I want to maximize profit during these times when the market is giving out huge discounts. It's time to maximize. I'm not telling you not to have your 30% goal or none of that. But if we're getting these, if we're talking about Apple at 130 a month ago, if we're talking about Amazon at $100, $110 a month ago, and you start to see these going up, on a trend line and continue to move, just sit back and relax. Enjoy the show. Maximize your profit. I don't have to maneuver and juke and move it all throughout the whole week when these things was been talked about at the cheapest point of the market. Everybody understand? But the day trade is going to show itself. So if you're looking for a day trade, it's going to show itself. Be patient. Be patient. Sit back. If you start noticing the trend, if the market is moving and everything is on, start noticing small area trends. Start utilizing your tools. You feel me? We have to. It makes us a better trader. Start noticing these type of trends, like that trend right there. Start noticing the little short-term trends right now. As soon as it breaks the short-term trend, I can get a put. If I deleted so much information, but either way, I can still pull it off. If I can get a put down to, this right here, the 153, ride the put down to 153 and get out. You feel me? Don't try to hold on to it at the 153. Why? The overall trend of the market is bullish. The overall trend of the market is bullish. If you're doing a put, you need to get out at support. You need to be getting out your puts at support. If you're doing calls, you need to be buying in at support until the trend of the market change. The trend of the market has not changed yet. We're still bullish. We're riding out the wave right now, guys. Everything that people was losing throughout these first 6 months in tech, we're starting to try to regain. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And if you guys want me to
you've been
start
talking about this for forever. Because
Forever, bro.
it happened last year.
It happened last year. That's when, again, man, my track record is the same. CrowdStrike, CRM, Snap, Pen. We went crazy with the same stuff, man. I'm not changing. Know what I mean? I don't have to do nothing special. I don't have to go find unicorns. I can go look at the same stuff I've been looking at all the time. The reason that Apple contracts was 18 cents for the 155s because the volatility was low. Nobody wasn't getting it. It was cheap. But once that thing started hitting, everybody ran into it now. Volatility shoots up. It runs up to almost $200. Come on, bro. If you coming in taking notes, y'all should be paying attention to them moves.
I don't know how you do it, bro. If I all right, what month is this? July. If it's July right now, I get an $18 contract. All right, I get 10 $18 contracts for September.
Yeah.
And before the end of this month, them $18 contracts run up to $100 a piece. I probably could hold on to a few of them, but then still, there's no way I'm gonna make it to September with that profit on the line.
No, you're 100% correct. That's why you buy multiples, sell 75%, leave the runners. There's nothing wrong with, having that plan. I mean, for the people that's getting 1, get your money. But if you're getting 4, 8, and 12s, sell 75%, collect your check, leave the runners. The runner's gonna make you more money, but you already took your money off the table. You already doubled, tripled your profit off rip. It was so many cheap contracts. I just got tired of seeing them. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. Like, I told y'all on Sunday last week, I say, bro, these contracts gonna be super dirt cheap. No one's paying attention to tech as much. Then Monday gave us that huge downside, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. The contract prices for these big tech companies are so cheap, bro. Y'all have to pay attention. It's so many though, and I get it. But dude, I just shop different, man. I like going to the discount rack. That's how I move. Anybody else got questions? And it's okay. Y'all buy whatever y'all want to buy. As long as you're making money, I'm happy. But I'm going to be focused on anything under $50, anything under $100 that I can just buy, and then it turns to $400-$500. That makes me feel way better. I feel like I really put some work in.
Hey, let me ask you about Snapchat. You think it's gonna bounce back up?
Yep.
I think that thing gonna hit 8 before it go back up to that. I had it on my phone. I had to look at 1250, but it definitely had to look like 8 for me sometime this week, probably.
The only reason I think it's going to bounce back up because the RSI. You might get an RSI bounce. You know what I mean? Nothing too serious, but you may be able to get a couple of dollars off of it. With Meta coming up this week, and if Meta does well, they may be able to get, he may come back to $10, $11. But again, it's the quality that matters. You know what I mean? Snap ain't fall because, they ain't making money. It's just Facebook, it might be some better stocks out there. They just haven't made as much money as they usually make on Snap. TikTok is killing everybody. So they're not even public. Like, you know what I mean? And the reason Snap ain't partnering up with TikTok lately, I don't have a Snap. I don't have them extra ones. If y'all don't Snap, if you see some TikTok stuff, let me know. But that mean that they got a deal together, that they working together. So you never know, man. I never had a Snapchat, so I don't know nothing about it.
I hated Snap when they IPO because I ain't understand how they was making money.
It's really advertisement. The only way they can make money is advertisement.
Yeah, I see the same advertisement every time, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I still don't like Snap like that. It seems like Instagram coming back too, though, and Twitter.
But Instagram ran by Facebook. So that's why Facebook ain't going no well, because Instagram, they own it. They got, man, Facebook, man, is the truth. And they partner with Snap. Look at the 1 hour for Snap. That's the only thing that's going to bounce. The RSI at 14. It's going to get an RSI relief bounce. It's just, that's how it works. We always see but I told y'all, whenever you see the RSI get this low, what happens? You're going to be able to get like a $10 car, $11 car. It may come back up here and play around with the 1151. But you gotta be confident that the RSI is going to work. It's going to get a nice little bounce. Especially with Meta coming up this week, I think Meta's going to do well. They just did well on their last earnings. Meta always do well on their earnings, man. It's nothing bad with Meta. It's just that sometimes they just go together. Sympathy plays or sympathy trades. Like the Snap and Meta, they just flow together. You know what I mean? Anybody else? I remember when Pinterest was in that group. I mean, we talk about Pinterest. I remember Overstock was part of that. Know what I mean? We seen it all.
What's somebody in the group be trading that Trump stock?
Oh, you talking about
It might move at
D-Wade.
the
Talking about that D-Wade.
I seen something happen the other day with this one, man. They started to look like a meme. It already a meme stock. But it looked like he's gonna go test that at $38, man. It was 23. It like he's gonna test that $38 area.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the 1 hour. I'm just scared of it. I'm scared because stuff like this happened. Look what happened in June. I'm scared of that. Like, look at that fall off. That's the only reason I'm scared. I don't want to touch it. I'm nervous. They scare me.
Look, I can't touch any business ran by Trump.
Boy, it's nerve-wracking.
The fall off in June happened is around when Elon said he was purchasing Twitter. They thought
Elon messed them up. So they definitely gonna go up to that 38. They may go test that 38 coming up soon. Especially with Meta coming out this week. They don't have no earnings though. They just SPAC. they still a SPAC. So they, you know, I don't know what type of money they making. Anybody else? Again, this week is huge. Get your playlist together. Whatever list you got to get together, plan it. Disney got earnings on August 10th. I think that's one part of my highest watch, other than, you know, what we already been trading. But Disney is a sleeper, dude. I told y'all at 97. I'm glad somebody mentioned it in the lobby. I told y'all once to get above 97.50 to get a 105. That was a beautiful trade. And that was 5 cents. It's crazy. But Disney been talked about before too.
And Kramer just said something about him the other day about
Oh, never
shorting
mind.
them.
Never mind. Don't get Disney. That nigga. He can mess up anything.
You gotta do the opposite of what he said.
Yeah, bro. He tripping, man. But yeah, but look at Disney, man. We went from $91.50 up to $104. It hit 104 this week, and now we're right below at the 102. But it's more than likely going to recover this 103. But luckily, it's in August. We got a long way to go for that, man. So definitely at a huge discount. There's no, I mean, I believe that Disney can't go no further down. I mean, more than likely, if we hold 102, you be able to pull off that 115 call. That's just my opinion. If y'all took advantage of the 105s, you mean congratulations. You know what I mean? But that's above one. Look, I told y'all 97.50. Reason is, the reason I'm saying like some of these levels, because you can see where the resistance is building up at. You feel me? It built up at 97.50 right here. So once it got above 97.50, it just hit every level that I want. You know what I mean? That's why it's so clutch when you see a stock break above resistance.
What's his name gonna get his
It's so
time
clutch, man. You can make so much money off of it. Anybody else? All right, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining. Pay attention to the watch list this week, man. Some incredible trades been coming out. Take your notes. Have open conversations, man. Ask each other
Sometimes he
questions.
don't get. Yeah, sometimes. But
and
it's recorded.
Yeah, I'm recording, Miss Tangent.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
all
sorry.
love.
Thank you.
I gotta record it. I'm definitely gonna post it. But this week should be incredible. You guys should be patient. Mondays is always, you know, iffy, but just be patient. Where QC at?
Yo.
Did that idea? Remember I told you about Robinhood charts?
Oh yeah.
It worked, didn't it?
Nah, I ain't trade off of it. I was checking it out, but
don't it work though?
yeah, I was the few that I looked at, it definitely was there. Like their first pre-market candle at like 9:30, whatever it is like the opposite.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
definitely
so
checked it out. I ain't traded it yet though.
No, you don't gotta trade it, but just be patient. Like if you see that position in Robinhood that is bullish off rip first thing at 9:30, just sit back and chill. It's gonna give you a direction when it comes. I'm telling you, dog. I don't know how, but it's something iffy over there, bro. They know something. They cooking something up over there. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one, man. God bless y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining, man, for sure, man. Be safe. Tomorrow morning, watch the watch list. If you're a day trader, use your 5-minute, 1-minute charts. Figure out, you know, where's the support at, where's the resistance, and just trade that area. Especially if you're doing SPY. You can literally trade the area that you want at a discounted price. Day trade rules, 30% out, and keep it moving, guys. Make it simple, man. Holla at me.